I've not said who it is yet. You obviously recognise my voice.
Oh, I do know your voice.
Oh, okay. All right.
I do know your voice.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your response.
No, I'm very very selective on the cases that I do
Yeah,
actually take on. I do get lots and lots of requests all the time, but of them
yeah.
requests, there's actually quite in the great scheme of things, it's actually quite a small percentage that I do actually take on. You know, I mean,
Right.
I tend to put everything through. I've got a certain protocol in place, and the first part of any investigation, whether I'm going to take it, whether I'm not, is like a kind of friendly telephone interview.
Mhm.
So if you've got time, I thought we could have
Yep.
a friendly telephone interview.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, so obviously I received your message. If you can just give me a quick rundown. Did you say something to do with your? Let me just see if I can just get back to this. Farmhouse,
The farmhouse, yes.
right? And so you've got a farmhouse, um, and you want to run it. Why have you just got in contact with me? Is it more recent, or is it just an accumulation of events and reports?
Well, things started happening. I know that things happened historically back in 2000, 2001 when we purchased the farm
Okay.
because I'd tinkered around with my stepmother and we'd done the awful thing of the weed board and
You tinkered
it got
around.
registered and things and there were initials on the lintels. There's a lot of old buildings here
Okay.
and we believe that we were in contact with one of the residents that's name was on the lintel. He told us to go to a barn, which we went to. Then things started getting really bad on the last one.
Okay.
Almost to the fact that it used to wait for us to get there and then the glass would start whizzing off. The windows would rattle, the glass smashed, and I said, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Okay.
But,
So just about.
whilst we
So,
were doing that,
yeah.
sort of back in, we had an elderly auntie that used to live with us that did see someone upstairs. Everything was ceased for about 5 years,
Mhm.
and then we had cause to call in some local historians because my younger sibling, my female one, was actually visibly seen sat up in bed talking to people. And the historians came in and discovered that the house dates back to the Magna Carta and it's done in 3 stages.
Okay.
And there's lots of little tiny little windows and arrow windows and things like that, very narrow little doorways and you know, all sorts of things like that. And my sister would openly be talking to nobody, so the historians were called in, etc. And then they discovered that the family, I think back in the 1700s, had 5 children there that all contracted smallpox
Okay.
and they all died.
Mhm.
So the whole family, you know, all the siblings, you know, all the next generation have gone. We took occupancy, as I say, back in
Yeah.
from a local farmer who had it in his family for about 3 or 4 generations,
Mhm.
which is the people that we made contact with on the weed board. But as I say, the historians came in. At the time, the family felt that this was a good presence, but they just were inquisitive as to who she was talking to.
Okay.
And as it was children, we felt no threat. There were a couple of rooms in the main farmhouse that I've had complaints from guests about.
Okay. Can you just tell me? I mean, the complaints and such as.
Complaints such as noises of people jumping on the beds. I had a lady that stayed there last year that said she was a medium and she made contact with somebody that was a lot older than what we believed, who wanted to leave but didn't know how to.
Yeah.
I physically feel sick when I go in that room. I get very hot. I can be hoovering outside the room and as soon as I put the hoover in the room it turns off.
Okay.
Pull the hoover out, it works.
Okay.
People that have stayed in that room, it's uneasy. I had cleaners that used to go in and do the cleaning upstairs, but she refuses to clean upstairs now.
Really?
So
Okay.
my brother does that. You get things on the back of your spine. Sometimes doors will shut.
Okay.
There's a room downstairs which does date back to like, I think about 1300s, which is got all the original meat hooks in, which I find really uncomfortable about being in. It's very cold as soon as you walk in and oppressive. But guests are saying things are being moved, which I know they do. We've had electrical contractors go in there before, and we've said, don't leave anything unattended to, because you turn around and it literally goes. Even, we've been in there and done general maintenance, put a hammer down, next second turn around, it's gone. But this guy had this really expensive computer equipment that he was upstairs twiddling with on the hallway. He said, I'll turn my back, Julia, and it was gone. And I said, I told you not to. He said, no, I was there, and it went. It did reappear 3 days later in the shed.
Okay, it does sound really, really interesting, and really quite intriguing. I mean, my job is, you obviously know I am and what I do anyway. But when when we've got certain reports of things from, shall we say, like such as the media, or I made contact with, that's fine and may have done, may not have done. But at the end of the day, we have to put it to one side and not really concentrate on that, because that she may believed that that's what was happening, but it may not have actually occurred. So we tend to have to take that out of the equation, take it on board, but not let it form part of the investigation. The thing that's really important is what's been independently witnessed by people. Your account, obviously, because you're there full time, and to the point that you're worried about it affecting your business. So I mean that is a valid reason.
It does, Don. And to be honest, I will not set foot in that house in the day on my own. It's so strange to explain to you that obviously this time of year is a very quiet period. We can get weekend bookings, etc.
Okay.
But the farmhouse comes alive when we've got guests.
Okay.
And it just, click your finger and it's like it comes up in a glow. But as soon as the people go, the farmhouse loves noise, it loves chaos. And then when all that goes, it becomes a very lonely and sad place.
Okay.
And I will not set foot in there in the day on my own.
Right.
This year, I have had 2 people saying to me that they've seen orbs in the back room.
Okay.
She did, yes, and she was in her 80s, and
I don't tend to concentrate on orbs. I tend to just deal in stuff that I can substantiate and can prove one way or the other. And with all the best will in the world, an orb, I mean, it might be something other than dust particles or something else, but there's no way we're going to actually be able to prove that. So I tend to shy away from them, because they are very greatly, according to person, open to interpretation. So what
I've never seen the orbs. I mean, I know that dogs just bark constantly when they go in there.
Yeah, okay. But what we'll do, I mean, my job's to come in there, substantiate that maybe there is things going on, phenomena taking place, and then see the best way to approach it in actually dealing with it. There's not a one boot fits all kind of thing,
No, I understand that.
I mean, originally you contacted me and says, Don, do you do exorcisms? Yeah?
Yeah, it was just based on the medium that stayed there and said that the girl in there that's 19 in the particular room.
Yeah, well, a lot of...
You feel extremely uncomfortable in. It's called Isabella, and she's 19 and she wants to leave and she doesn't know how to leave.
Yeah, I don't buy into that, at all. That's my own perspective for certain reasons, which will be apparent when I actually meet you. Like I say, I what people tell you is one thing, but what can actually be substantiated is another. I tend to just deal in what we can substantiate. I mean, if there is somebody there by that name and they speak and we can get some information, absolutely fine.
That would be great.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll try to be upfront and honest with you as much as I can on that.
Well, that's all I ask of people. That is all I ask of people. It is quite. It looks like it's quite a big location.
It is.
Right.
It is. I just feel generally sick.
Okay.
Just down the bottom end of the farmhouse. which is the oldest part, I feel really dizzy.
Right, now, people tend to concentrate... Yeah, or people tend to concentrate on the insides of these places without actually paying much attention to the outside and what was there before. There may be some kind of footprint which is contributing to any phenomena that's taking place. If you're with me, it could be an overspill from the outside which is affecting the inside if something is actually occurring, which we've obviously yet to determine 100%. So yeah, okay, I'm happy to come and see if I can help you. Okay. Based on the conversation,
Brilliant.
the reason that you want me to come out is obviously very important as well. It's a valid reason. The question is then, I mean, obviously it's going to be better when it is your quietest time and there's minimal people there.
When I have what, sorry?
The best time for me is when there's going to be minimal people there.
Yes.
Great, that's great. So sometime during that 2 weeks then, I'll
Yeah, absolutely fine. I mean, you're welcome to stay.
Okay, well, to be honest, with the size of the place and what there's going on, and getting to the bottom with it, and hopefully dealing with it, it might take a couple of 3 days.
Well, I'm absolutely fine with that.
You are? Okay.
I'm absolutely fine. In fact, I'd welcome you to help me with my animals. There's lots of things that you'll find on the buildings outside, as I described to you earlier, with their initials printed in.
Right. Okay.
I've even got one on the bottom of my barn door.
Okay. I'll be totally open and honest with you and transparent as you are being with me. Okay. It may be the case that there's such a footprint there over a certain length of time that you may not be able to get it resolved. That is a possibility that you have to be aware of. I'm not going to come in there and tell you things to make you feel better, because that doesn't address any issues, does it? If that is the case, then obviously I need to substantiate myself to you, and everything I tell you I like to back up.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, I know you trust me and everything, you don't doubt anything, but I could tell you anything, but it's just talk. Anybody can talk.
It was actually a very bad thing I did with my stepmom, but I will never dabble with those bloody boards again.
Well, we'll look into that. We'll talk to that. Have you still got the board?
No, it was a self-made.
Oh, it was a self-made one. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and we got rid of it.
Okay.
I did look a little bit into it afterwards, and there was lots of ZXs and Ys, and I thought, oh my God, I know what that means.
Well, say, without being disrespectful, I take everything on board, but when I actually come down there, I have to come with a total open mind. But
Yeah.
things that you tell me I can't allow to influence the case in any way, as it were.
No, that's
I'm
fine.
sure you'll appreciate that. My job's not to scare you. My job's to be open and honest with you and see if we can add some substantiation to what you're claiming.
Yeah.
And then see the best way we can move forward in getting some kind of resolve to that situation.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
All right. So, can I
Brilliant.
contact you in a couple of days with
Yep.
potential dates?
Absolutely brilliant, yes.
Because I am so busy you would not believe. Well, you might do if you've been following me on my little
Yeah,
escapades.
I imagine you are.
But no, absolutely fantastic to speak to you. I've got four.
Oh, it's been great, yes.
I've got 4 people to contact this evening. I'm not going to.
Sorry?
I've got 4 cases to contact this evening. I'm not
Oh,
going
good grief, have you?
to. Yeah, I won't be taking all 4 because that's not going to happen. But
Right.
I'll be more than happy to help you the best way I can.
Well,
Okay.
I really, really do appreciate
Not a
that.
problem. Not a problem. Give my regards to.
I will.
I'll probably message you on Facebook in the very
Okay, no
very near
problem.
future. In the meantime, don't worry about anything. We'll get to the bottom of it. Okay.
I'm not going in there till Friday. I've got to do a clean over, but then I'm going in bodyguard, so I'm fine.
All right.
All right then,
Been a
take care.
pleasure.
Have a good evening.
Take care. Thank you. Bye bye both. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, so the reason I put the camera on, I thought it'd be interesting. Now I don't know if we can put this footage out, if we can film this, or even if I can show this yet until I've actually spoken to the client. But obviously, that is a most interesting story. There's a valid reason why contacted me and asked me to help. I mean, she's frightened, and also she's worried about it affecting her business, and she's had complaints from guests as well. The complaint from the medium. I'm not being disrespectful, but the belief structure within mediums is obviously a lot stronger than just a normal. Sorry, I didn't mean to say normal. another paying guest who hasn't got anything like that in their mind, I can go on what I find when I get there. If I go with any preconceived notions, you know, your mind can start, and we have to be very, very strict and put it all to one side. Fresh case, no information. We only go on what we could substantiate on the way that the evidence leans and what it points to. I think 800 years is an awful long time. It could be very interesting to find out what was there before the farmhouse, to see if that's even possible. So this is the first part of this case. I'm now going to tell her that I've made this recording. Is she going to give me permission to use this recording? I think there could be a lot to get out of this case, a lot to find history-wise, and if there's obviously any spirit personalities there, well, we all know that they'll be probably more than happy to indulge with me and get some answers. And this is the thing, there's no point in me just going and saying yeah, you know, it's haunted. Let's see if we can get some factual information from the spirit personalities that may reside there themselves. Make contact with those spirit personalities, get an understanding with those spirit personalities, and see if we can find some kind of midway ground or some kind of resolve. So this is the first part in this, hopefully one of many video, diary, documentary, or whatever concerning this case. You may never get to see this, I don't know yet, but if you do, you know that giving their consent, and it will be a very interesting thing for you, the viewers, to follow. Before I go, I will say that me video documenting things, it is to show that this phenomenon is real. This phenomenon can affect people in a real way in their lives. Me video documenting things and putting it out publicly is not a condition of me helping people. I don't have any conditions. I select my cases purely on merit, and we go from there. It's as simple as that. These people will not be charged because I don't charge anything. I'm here to help people using my knowledge and my experience where I can. So I am tired. I did the Omen Scythe last night. Still tired. Long drive. This is going to be a long drive as well. 240 miles. You know, it's like nearly 500 miles each way. So I'll see you soon, guys. First part, end of part one. Wish me luck, and I'll speak to you very soon.